Hi all, welcome to this Foundation's SBC guide. Massive thanks to the EA Creators Network and EA themselves for allowing me this opportunity to upload this content for you folks. Gives you a nice idea of what to obviously expect. I know we're familiar with the Foundation or the Basic and Advanced SBCs. We've been using them since FIFA 17, but obviously for those that are new to the game, obviously it's still handy to know what to expect. And obviously every year when you're doing like Basic and Advanced SBCs, most of the time the routes do marginally change for like what players to use, like nations and so forth. So hopefully you find this useful, folks. Smash likes always be much appreciated. Sub to channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, G is a legend. All links are down below for playlists and channel and social media links as always. Plenty of FIFA 22 content has been going up over the course of pretty much since we've been able to upload it. You are aware that there is a gold, but it was because I just used what I had in the club. Obviously for that particular SBC, don't copy buy the routes that you see. Don't copy what I put in. I just used what I had from picking my initial nation, from rinsing out the FIFA points into packs just to see what I could get for another video, and because obviously people will want to know what to do with your 4,600 FIFA points, but also do a bit of bronze pack method as well, because it does help the initial SBCs. So for the first one, obviously I just went Sudamericana for the first kind of like major aspect, if you wish, of League of Nations basics. One nation midfield I actually still have not packed, or it's more so you can't really buy what you need, which is the last silver. I've not really packed many of one nation, so England was the one nation I had a decent amount of. I just didn't have an English left mid. That was literally it. But it's easy enough anyways. It wasn't overly fussed. In multi-league nation, I just used what I had in the club. You generally just go 3 nations, 3 league, like 3 nations, and generally 3 leagues. So you try and go like say English, Prem. Say for example, then like Dutch, like it's straightforward. It's honestly straightforward. It's not strenuous like Strootman and all them. As long as you've got like, it's usually 2 or 3 golds and 2 or 3 bronzes or silvers, and it gets you done and dusted. Move forward, obviously, was a relatively newer one that was added in, I want to say FIFA 20. Sure this is the 3rd year we've had this now. And very straightforward, just throwing 3 bronzes in defence, 3 in midfield and 3 up top, and it gets you 3 rated players. Last year for example, if you did it when it was team of the week, when Dolberg was in packs, it was bugged, and when you did the forward you were given an informed Dolberg, which was quite neat. So you couldn't go wrong with a free Dolberg in your picks, really, if you hadn't done the SBC yet. Obviously for the video I'm doing it on PlayStation. On my Xbox, when I eventually jump on the Xbox version of FIFA 22, I will probably not do these SBCs till Team of the Year, so I will probably just build up the coins, build up the club of players and so forth, because I don't generally touch these SBCs because I don't have a demand or an interest in doing the SBCs until I need to. And that's kind of usually my mantra with SBCs, but let's move forward. Fairly straightforward. Like it's usually a decent enough SBC. If you can get 3, I would say 2 or 3 80 rated cards, you've cracked it. So we'll show these picks. Obviously give you an idea of what ratings to expect as well for some players. Who's been upgraded, downgraded, who's non-rare, who's rare. The rares, if memory serves right, are very seldom. Like I can very vaguely, like I think whenever I've done this over the years, I've rarely packed gold rares from it. But Ogbonna, now kind of wish I took Matinho in the previous one, but hey ho, Ogbonna is now rated. The way I look at it anyway, it's just eventual fodder. The goalkeeper being the worst, but we'll take Mary regardless. So that's 4 extra players, half decent golds, Now, on to hybrid leagues, nations and league and nation hybrids. This is the advanced elements, all very straightforward, nothing too strenuous. And if I'm honest, I actually went with last year's routes. And if you've twigged anyway, if you've watched last year's guide, all I've done different is my right back and the centre mid, and the first one is just slightly different. It's just mainly, the ratings generally stay the same. I try and keep it the same year on year anyway. All I generally do is adjust the players if they've not seen, if they say went from rare to non-rare, or they've went a different league or been given a downgrade or an upgrade. I try and adjust in that regard, and that's how like 7 League Boots is all French, because I like French as a requirement. It's usually, you'll notice France is very consistent this year. Now you'll notice in like whole 9 yards I'm only 98 chem, and that's because Coquelin and Mukulele are both out of position, because obviously one's a centre mid to CD, it should be a CDM, and one's a right wing back to right back. That's just because of rating, and also because you're trying to keep it to 9 leagues. You can make it happen with Matuidi over Coquelin. Then just it's hard because of ratings, so you've just got to factor in rare players to non-rares and all that kind of stuff. So it's the same with first XI, first 11. It's just all French. As you've noticed, like I've got one player out of position. It wouldn't work anyway because Bakayoko, even though he is in centre mid, you basically need the one player with loyalty regardless. So if you've got one of these players packed, you're kind of done and dusted. I've not done it simply because one, I even with opening all the packs, I haven't got enough players to kind of do the respective routes. But it's a good pack return anyway. I'll get into that in due course. Final 4, just near enough the same route as last year, or near enough I think, if memories went up, because I had a look over it, and I usually have a look over it, but what I do is, it's in case, as I said, it's whoever's changing from rare to non-rare. One of my favourite go-to options is always going off leagues. That is kind of the good crux to do any SBC. So La Liga 1, 2, 3, the Russian League, Ukraine and the Czech League make up 6 of the best. All the usual players that you'll see very commonly in SBCs this year. Do not be surprised. Elite 8 is just Eredivisie, nothing strenuous about that, just tapped into balancing out the goals as well. And when you're able to play an out of position player at right wing, you know you've cracked it. And it's handy if you can get the same teams as much as possible. It helps massively, especially when it's these players from Max Club. 3 around the world is just a prem squad, usually is anyway. Nothing too difficult. It's mainly because you're trying to factor in left wing back and right wing back, and usually prem is the strongest for it. And the most annoying thing is you do generally have to go higher rated players like 82s and 83s, but it's not hard. It isn't hard, it's just it's trying to have the initial players. And if I'm honest, the pack return in these SBCs are always generally worth it for what you spend anyway, because it's a 50k pack for around the world. It's always been respectable, it's been decent in all of them. When you collectively put, it's nearly 500k worth of packs for doing hybrid leagues, hybrid nations and League of Nations hybrid, so I cannot fault that in the slightest, especially at the start of the game. Your initial packs, if you've got the Ultimate Edition, burn it through gold pack, premium gold packs, you'll be able to build a nice supply of players in due course. The Challenger, as I said, is just Ligue 1 and second tier with La Liga. Advanced is near enough trying to kind of stay the same for same kind of usual nations that I go, which is Spain, Brazil and France. Hyperlinks were helping immensely, so like Rennes, Real Betis and like Lokomotiv Moscow help godly. Fiendish is never easy, it's always one of these SBCs We do have to overcompensate sometimes. I went the tried and tested way of, in this case this year, I went Al Nassr, Wolfsburg, Chelsea, then thrown in Bustiniza, Paul Lopez and Paulista, just to give us the extra ammunition that we needed. Don't be surprised if you see Arnold and Veghorst make plenty of SBCs. Same for Talisca. Be wary of Paulinho, he's no longer Al Illy, so if you've got his card then fair play. And then the last one to factor in is Puzzle Master, is Bayer Leverkusen for a triangle of 3. Savic is just in for high rating. We've got a Marseille triangle this year. Stick with Corona and Villa like we did last year. Tadic features, and again this time he's now a left winger. He was a centre forward. We had him in last year as in where Milik was with Kudus and Promes, but obviously with how things have went and Lazovic taking the left mid spot. But it works generally straightforward. It's just all you need is loyalty from the players, which is either 10 games or first owner. And as I said, for your pack return, that's a 55k for Puzzle Master. Fiendish is a mega pack. Advanced is a 25k pack. Challenger is a rare mixed player. So that roughly gives you a pack return of around 125k with 13k per coin return. And as I said, divers are about 165k each. So it's not too shabby in that regards, folks. As I say, massive, and as I say, thing you add in League Nation Basics and the rest, you're collectively looking at about 500k worth of packs, and you'll be done and dusted in no time. As I said, I'll have this all in description as usual. I'll have my SBC guide up in due course. Smash likes always, folks. Massive thanks again to the EA Creators Network. Smash likes always. Sub to channel for now, and I'll catch you all later.